And she said, I was literally gobsmacked. And even the most cynical people in my life had to agree, this is destiny. This is a manifestation. And she said, I guess it is via Facebook. So when you feel and you know and you can sense that they're keeping an eye on you and they're watching you, believe in that, trust in that. Don't monitor and seek for evidence in the 3D though. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In case you're new here, my name is Kim. This is Core Union. This will be a relatively short and sweet video. One of my clients bumped into her mirror soul. Very quickly, he asked if she would have coffee with him. One thing led to another. They ended up talking. It's very clear that the love between them is equal. Anyway, I want to share a little bit of that movement with you to inspire you, not to trigger you. This is a lifetime commitment if you want to have a life with your true love, with your specific person, mirror soul. I'm talking about a deep soul connection. I'm not talking about just somebody who you just want to manifest an apology from, or a text message, or getting to know them, dating them. Okay, this is about life with your specific person. So before I get further into this, if you do love my content, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. It helps me grow. If you want me to be your coach to help you manifest anything related to your true love, specific person, email a short description to kim@coreunion.com. Go to my website, coreunion.com. Book either a single session or a package. My scheduling assistant, Olga, we'll get back to you with my next available session after you've booked. You can do whatever you want to do. Most people do end up wanting to do packages simply because it saves them a lot of money in the long run if they're going to see me on a regular basis. All right. So my client, I had done another video that once we started working together after the first session, I believe it was, a bunch of things happened in her life that she ended up manifesting a new job and a new career. And she ended up learning after the fact that her new job was literally on the same block as where her mirror soul, who is an attorney, ended up moving to with a new law firm. So that's what we mean when we say that the how and the when is not up to you. But again, this was after 2 years. So you really do have to understand what blind faith and trust is, and you persist until it hardens into fact. And like my client even said during our session, this is a lifestyle. She understands that this is a lifestyle. So that happened where her boss or somebody in the office said, I want to go to a cafe nearby. And that was the first time that she saw her mirror soul, but they didn't bump into each other. They didn't communicate, I don't believe. No, they didn't. So anyway, now this latest was incredible. So that was like a couple months ago when that happened. Now, what she told me, and she said, I was literally gobsmacked. And even the most cynical people in my life had to agree, this is destiny. This is a manifestation. And she said, I guess it is. So she was walking down the street one day and she said she saw an outline of a man coming towards her. Now, I'm sure there's been many of days and nights where she saw men walking, but for some reason she sensed that it was her person. She said, maybe this is him. And it actually was. They bumped into each other and they were both kind of shocked. He ended up asking her, like immediately on the spot, are you available to have coffee? They went and they had a little coffee date. He ended up asking her if he could send her some songs that he had written. He had wrote a song about her I believe after they broke up. Oh, no, 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 not after they broke up, while they were together. It was something like the right amount of wrong. So he asked her, do you want me to send you, this was when they were sitting down for coffee, would you like me to send you some of the songs that I've written? She said, of course. He ended up also sharing that the name of his band was the name of the song. So she knew there was something very significant there. He ended up asking her if she wanted to come and go to some sort of a music event with him. And of course, she agreed. There was supposed to be a group of friends, but something happened last minute where, of course, nobody could make it. So it was almost like it was just the two of them together. When they were sitting down, she noted how good he smelled. She said, what is that beautiful smell? Like what cologne are you wearing? And he said, are you serious? You don't recognize it? And she asked, is it Tom Ford? Because she had given him Tom Ford as a cologne as a gift when they were together. So now not only did they meet, so they bump into each other, he asks her out immediately. He ends up wanting to spend more time together. They spend this time together. She ends up learning that he names his band after the song that he wrote about her. Now they're sitting down at this venue, at this music event. And she said, I couldn't even help it. I couldn't control my body. I had to kiss him. So they ended up kissing. He got up for a drink. And then when he came back, they did end up talking more about like what has happened over the past couple of years when they were apart. He explained to her that he did end up dating, but so did she. So sometimes you guys ask, can I date others? So it's up to you, but the way I see it is you're causing a delay you're causing a delay. If you're spending time entertaining someone else, you're causing a delay. And yes, if you are desiring to date someone else and you listen to that, then most likely you'll end up learning that so did your specific person or mirror soul. And sometimes you guys are like, but I've been remaining faithful and I learned that my person dated someone else. Well, maybe that you have a story that you're not the chosen one, that you're not a priority. Maybe that was a fear that you were afraid of. So it had to be reflected back to you. It's up to you. If it's true love, if it's deep soul connection, I think it's worth it. If it's not true love, it's not a deep soul connection, then take the lesson from it and move on and manifest better. So anyway, she did end up learning that, but then she had to be understanding because she was like thinking, hey, we've been apart for a couple of years. I also dated someone else. So she let it go. It was not that big of a deal. They ended up going back to her place, and there was no sexual intimacy, but the most meaningful part of this that my heart, it was so beautiful to me. And this was the thing that a few people have manifested with movement with their person. The intimacy between them was pure. They both ended up at one point, she was laying on his chest, and then he laid on top of her chest. So both of them in a very vulnerable and surrendered position with each other. And I melted when I heard that. So when he left, he looked in her eyes and he said, you have the absolute most beautiful eyes I've ever seen. And then he kind of just caressed her face and he didn't say any more words. Then, he ended up obviously going home. There was still some more communication. And I believe that maybe that was when he said he does have so much affectionate for her, but like, in other words, can we just take the slow? She explained that that was fine with her because, she had been going to do some EMDR. She was still letting go of stuff from her past. He also was doing EMDR for his past because there was some violence apparently when he was younger growing up. So now her job now is to just allow herself to remain focused and trusting in her end, which she's doing a phenomenal job. She is in this for life and she recognizes this is a lifestyle. This is the unfolding. This is, obviously something beyond your human physical form brought the two of you guys, like put you working right there on the same block. And then the timing, the preciseness of the two of you guys bumping into each other, and you immediately learning that he still had feelings for you. And then he explained, and almost like just, let's take it slow. I do have affection for you. There was one other thing that I thought was really adorable. They've always remained connected on Facebook. He explained when he was dating one of the people he was dating that he kept an eye on her through social media. And at one point she said, well, why didn't you ever reach out? And he said, because that would have been wrong, because I was dating someone else and that would have been dishonest and that would have been wrong. But he said, but he was keeping track. He wasn't fully committed to this person. It was just they were just dating. He also explained that, she's a wonderful person, but he always felt alone. He always felt like, in other words, something was missing. And he was constantly, keeping track of her via Facebook. So when you feel and and you can sense that they're keeping an eye on you and they're watching you, believe in that, trust in that. Don't monitor and seek for evidence in the 3D though. Stay consistent and remaining in faith and trust of the life of the two of you guys together. Be consistent, persist only in your end. Let go of the fears, worries, and doubts around love, around safety, around men, around women, especially around your person. Let go of the fear that because of their past, because of their childhood, they'll never be able to commit or be in a relationship. Okay. And anyway, affirm down below. I trust everything that's in my heart and soul. I know that me and my mirror soul love each other deeply. Our love together is harmonious, stable, and secure. And obviously, just reach out to me if you need me. I intend that this video helped. Bye.